Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All, educational videos and tutorials. In this video today we are going to talk about Nomad Sculpt desktop free beta version. For all of you who don't know, you can read that on your screen. Nomad Sculpt is a sculpting and painting mobile application. So mobile first and mobile only so far, but these guys who made this application for sculpting 3D objects and models, they are now transferring the software to desktop, and they are creating the free desktop beta version. So I thought it's not only me, but it's a big deal. Most of the people I know also in industry, not only game development but also advertising, movie, animation, and so on, use actually this or similar software. So this was mobile only, and for some reason, probably because of ease of use, people were using this a lot. Although myself haven't tried this application so far, and I'm not very into mobile phones and tablets myself, not only for this kind of stuff but in general, but somehow they were very well received on those platforms, maybe because mobile phones and tablets are getting bigger and their screens are bigger and bigger, so you can create faster and easier on those in these kind of applications, but also because I think the stylus, the pencils which you use on them are also getting better and better. Anyway, people are using this on mobile phones and tablets a lot. As I said, I haven't used it, but I have watched videos on people using it, and it looks really fast, intuitive, clean, with lots of features, with a nice UI, and whole atmosphere and mood is very nice and friendly. Yeah, it's actually very important for you to have something like that when you're working for hours and hours every day in it. And as you can see, it has a tool set like similar applications which are more and well known, better known than Nomad Sculpt. Also you can render or texture in it on some level, and there are also some kind of features which I haven't used, so I don't know how they work in real life, about multi-resolution sculpting, layers, dynamic topology, and so on. I know some of those from other softwares, so yeah, they are important, but in general, as you can see, you use these applications to create some kind of soft, rounded shapes, creatures, characters which don't have so much hard edges. You can use simple 3D modeling tools for that, but more for natural shapes and curves and so on. And it looks really professional. So yeah, so it supports pencil pressure and formats like OBJ, STL, and so, which are standards. So this was mobile only so far, and it was, I think, around $20 or $30 on Android and iOS store. So now they are transferring it to desktop. I will leave the link in description, and there is a link for Windows and Mac version, and I haven't tried it yet. I will do that, maybe even try to make a couple of simple tutorials in it. So this is free so far, and I think you can even export models from it. Not sure, but we will check that soon. And also there is a free version of web demo, which I will leave the link also in description, which is not connected 100% to this desktop so don't get confused. But you can first, I think it was important for me to talk about that also, because you can just try this in your web browser and play with it a little and see how it goes. I am now using my mouse, and of course it's not created for mouse and so on. You need a graphic tablet and graphic tablet pen to create something, but you can try these tools and just see how this works, like how this modeling sculpting works in oops, I don't know what I did just now. Anyway, you have lots of features here, so try them if you're into it or want to learn those, but I'm not sure how this web demo is different from this desktop free version, which I will try so we can compare both. But in general, the mobile version is the best in terms of features. It has the most features, and they are going to try to transfer all of those into desktop, but I guess it's not going to be 100% right away. It will take some time. And again, this kind of application, a sculpting application, it's not something you need necessary for your game, but most of the game nowadays need it because they become more and more complex and more, let's say, professional looking, but people just try to create some creatures, characters which look good, and sooner or later you cannot just model them with boxes and edges unless you're a Minecraft developer or something like that. So sooner or later you will need some of those sculpting application, and just for the end I just wanted to compare this Nomad Sculpt, which we saw has free beta desktop. Let's compare it to industry standards, which are ZBrush, and this ZBrush is like battle proven in production for movies, games, advertisement, whatever you can imagine. It's used. It's mostly for sculpting. You cannot and texturing also. So it's not for professional animation and stuff like that, but you create very complex high poly model in it, then export it for animators to use it in some other animation program like Maya or whatever. And this was made in developed by Pixelogic, but recently it's bought by Maxon, the company which has Cinema 4D, I think, and a couple of other softwares, and we can check that right away. Cinema 4D, Red Giant, Red Shift, Universe, they have a whole universe. Maxon One and ZBrush. So until they bought this ZBrush application, the ZBrush was had a permanent license, and not only that, they had some kind of 2 or 3, I think, versions of smaller programs. I have forgot how they call it, like ZBrush. I don't know. It's not student but something like beginner or something like basics, like basic ZBrush, where you don't have all the features from most complex ZBrush application, but you have enough to work like for indie games or whatever, and it was much cheaper. And other versions are, for example, much they have bigger they have more features, and they have bigger value, they have bigger price. So after those guys bought and they now transfer it to subscription, as I can see, as the only choice. And that's what we were talking about on my channel, about when we talked about similar stuff in industry, and also with Game Maker, even going from permanent license to subscription, then going back to perpetual or one-time permanent buy, and so on, because subscription as a software as a service or subscription-based graphic art softwares and game development tools, that's not very well received from community and customers. That's a topic for some other video, and we have talked about that earlier, but I just wanted to emphasize that, and I will do every time I see it, because as you can see, this is like 400 euros, almost 500 euros, almost 500 euros for 1 year, and after that you have to pay it again and again and again. So the more you use it, the more you pay. It's never yours, actually. It's always you paying for subscription. So I hate these kind of games, but anyway, that's how they push it. We will see how long they can do it. But again, this is very the people in industry use it. It's very it's used a lot, so I guess they're going on that idea. The another for example, sculpting application, 3D code, which is also used in real world production and so on. So you can buy this for personal license for unlimited use, one-time purchase, and you can use it for commercial also, so you can make money on it, create games, movies, whatever you need it for. So for example, the 1 year of ZBrush is higher than one-time fee, one-time purchase for unlimited use for 3D code. Although people who use ZBrush, and I can agree on that, will probably pick ZBrush in terms of quality and so on, but I just wanted to compare it in terms of subscription or a one-time purchase. And also there is a free software also, Blender, for sculpting. You can sculpt in Blender, and I haven't used that also, but I have seen people creating stuff which looks same as in ZBrush or 3D Code or any other sculpting application. So it's possible, but how hard is it, or how annoying and painful is it? That's another story, but this is completely free. So even compared to Nomad Sculpt and so on, if you have to go for free, I guess Blender is your option. But again, if you compare those prices, for 400 for a year, 400 for unlimited use, or this Nomad Sculpt, which will be probably around $30, and this Blender for free, it's up to you. And again, it's very, very important for you to try all of those. Although this ZBrush is best in terms of, most people will pick it as best in terms of quality, production and so on, it has some kind of, people say, weird or hard to understand user interface. It's not very intuitive, so unless you use it on everyday basis, and only for if you're only sculptor, which is probably not so often in indie or even in professional 3D games now, if you stay in it and you just work in ZBrush only, it will become easier and intuitive from after some use. But it's not so easy as some other softwares, although I heard similar stories for Blender user interface. So compare for that also people who use 3D Code. I have tried it. I have used it, I think, for retopology. I have found ZBrush easier and better in terms of intuition and atmosphere for sculpting and so on. So you have to try all of those, or at least as much as you can to find your perfect tool, or something like that. It's like trying when you go to buy some product. It can be clothing, it can be a food or whatever. You try couple of different tastes, and then you can, like buying an ice cream or shoes or whatever. Same goes with these applications. So I recommend trying as much as you can. So that's why I will also try this one in beta version, and also I will have to try a Blender as soon as possible for sculpting and some other purposes myself. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. So again, I will leave the link in description. This beta desktop version is free for Windows and Mac. You also have web version for you to try in your browser. Check it out if you need some of those for your games, and if you want to learn, you don't have to be a professional in terms of game development or something like that. People use this, for example, to learn. You can see on this girl sculpt here, you can learn the shading, the shadows on her face, and how because it's realistic model, the shading and the shadows on her body and face, they are also realistic, so you can learn to draw from it, to learn to color and paint and so on. So it has almost endless uses. You can use it to create models, to 3D print, and so on. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in next one. Bye for now.